Ace Combat 8 got announced. That was not on my bingo card for the Game Awards.
It wasn't on mine either.
Yeah,
I was actually expecting
I didn't even,
Armored Core 6 DLC
I thought
for
we were
some
going to get
reason.
AC6 DLC, and instead we got AC8, just not Armored Core. Instead, it's
Yeah.
Ace Combat. So yeah, I'm
I'll
definitely looking
take it.
forward to this. Let me give you a. Let's see here. Ba, 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 ba. Let me make sure you can see what I'm seeing here.
I'm looking at the Twitch mod, but sure, if you wanna put it on the
So
Discord.
that way you're real time. There we go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a look at
Just need to.
the Ace Combat 8 trailer here, and after that, we're gonna go into some Ace Combat 3, which, from what I understand, canonically takes place what is it? Roughly
It's the
10 years
latest.
after? Is it
It
10
takes
years
place
after
in
this time?
20. It takes place in 2040.
2040.
Yeah.
Did we figure out exactly when this one takes place? The Ace Combat 8 timeline?
It will take place in 2029.
2029. So it's getting pretty close. So it'll be interesting to see
Pretty
all the
close,
kind of
but still not
changeovers.
quite there.
Not quite there yet, but we'll see if whether or not Ace Combat 8 here is responsible for what eventually will lead into Ace Combat 3. So, well, without further ado, let's check out the trailer.
It's the 30th anniversary.
Yep.
Take a look.
Hey, somebody, thank you
Sights
for the
of behold.
resubscribe. Man, 52 months. That's hype, dude.
It's all over. The last lands of the FCU. The Federation of Central Usia.
Now, before we move on, who do you think we are there exactly? Like we're on the raft in the middle of
So
nowhere. Are we an air crew
so
for the FCU?
yeah, we're an
What do you
air crew
think?
for the FCU. The FCU is the faction that we actually fought for in Ace Combat 2, but they simplified it.
Oh,
They
that was the
so
faction, Ace Combat
it's not.
2?
Yeah, in the original game they didn't. It was not brought up in detail, but in
Yeah.
Ace Com uh, Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy
Oh,
for the
yeah.
3DS, which was like a remake of 2. They expanded the lore,
They did. Yeah. No,
and
yeah. Ace
yeah,
Combat 1 and 2
and
were
you were fighting.
very basic on just story. The Strange Reel didn't exist really until like officially until 4, but 3 starts setting up a lot of stuff for like the far future, which is just a little over 10 years from where this game is now.
But yeah, if you want a quote unquote Assault Horizon that is genuinely good, Assault Horizon Legacy is actually a good game,
You know, I have that
but
game.
a little on the janky side.
I never got that far into it. And I unfortunately don't have a 3DS anymore to play it on. So if I wanna get
Uh,
back to beating that game, I'll definitely need
Too
to
bad.
look into doing that. So
It also it also has one of my favorite soundtracks in the series.
yeah.
First of all, thank you for joining us on this ship.
Yeah, once I saw
Hello
Project
there, my
Aces, I
fellow
went
newcomer.
nuts.
You are very lucky, you know.
Yes, we are critically
First.
undermanned on this ship.
Don't worry at all. The man in front is
Okay,
Jarek's coach.
so
This is where it started to sink in
You're
for me,
riding
by the
shot.
way. That everything was taking place from they were changing the way they were presenting the game, and it wasn't just like gonna be like past Ace Combat games.
right,
Like,
where you're like
and
just kind of like a
that's when I
faceless.
got excited.
You're kind of like a
Yeah,
faceless protagonist that. I mean, you're technically we don't see his face in this trailer either, but you're just kind of there, right? You're a wingman. You're just
yeah.
there, and
But like it's more like
you're really
the
never
way I just
referenced.
like the way I describe it is in the PS2 era onwards, is like you were basically God in the sky, and the Allied forces summon you whenever you are needed. That's my main criticism
Isn't that technically
of,
Mobius
of
1?
the series. Yeah, yeah,
This
pretty
the
much.
original OP MC Pro tag for the Ace Combat franchise, Mobius 1.
Yeah, but we never see him Mobius one outside the cockpit. They never even mention like the closest you get is like Blaze in Ace Combat 5 appearing a little bit in a few scenes here and there in some cutscenes, but even then,
Yeah, even
like
then his face is covered by like
it's like
in group photos, which is
yeah,
kind of funny, but at least he's still kind of included. But yeah, for the
yeah,
most part, it's always a story about like your surroundings and the other people you interact with, never really focused on you at all. So yeah, this game
yeah,
may
and
break that to where it's like, yeah, I mean, you're still faceless, but now you have a new identity, you're essentially assuming, you know?
now you're actually in the game world and not just whenever they need you to fly a plane.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's when I got excited about Ace Combat 8.
Yeah.
Gun with the
Once they start
legendary Ace of
these
Aces.
actor.
He's a mass delusion fabricated by the rumor mill of social media.
Radar contact. We think it's the shadows.
Our lone target is Wings.
I'll draw its fire. Time to pull out. 22.
Oh,
Little
this is a little off topic,
little Top Gun Maverick
The-
reference there.
so this is a little off topic, but if you pause, the main bad guys are probably called Ares, and you
Yeah.
know the planes, the aircraft Andromeda system, the comic that I was working on, the Ace Combat-esque comic. The bad guy in there is also named Ares.
Oh
so
yeah, you told me
I'm
about that.
wonder-
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if I have to change the name for that.
Nah,
Hopefully, I hope not.
nah.
Let's keep at it, Brex.
Man, this game looks gorgeous. Like the other game looked really good. You know, 7 looked really good, but this game looks incredible.
I can make up your kill count to be whatever. Right. From now on, you'll be the greatest ace pilot this war will ever know.
Ah man.
Yeah. At this point, I don't even care what the story is about. I just care about that the way it's going to be presented is a huge step up from
Yeah.
past Ace Combat games.
And you know, it actually makes a lot more sense now that you mentioned about the person we're playing possibly being a crew for the squadron involved in Ace Combat 2, or at least Ace Combat 2 Assault Horizon, because the helmet that we take up for the Wings of Thief here, you know, it looks very
similar to.
it looks very similar to
Phoenix's, yeah.
yeah, exactly, to the SS Race Ace Combat 2, which is wild. I didn't even think about that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, some fun stuff about this. So
But Scarface 1 was actually a mercenary. I think we're playing as a soldier for the FCU. This time around.
so not a mercenary, but someone who
We're
was
not-
involved in that
yeah.
conflict. Oh, okay.
I mean, we're playing as a soldier now. I mean, in Ace Combat 2, you're playing as a mercenary.
Yeah, that makes
Who gets
sense.
hired to stop a coup d'état.
Yeah. Although technically we wouldn't be a soldier, we would be an air crewman or an aviator or something like that. Yeah, I remember watching what's his name's channel when he was doing the Mover. That's right, Mover Ruins movies and Mover Ruins Ace Combat. He was going over the trailer, and when they made the mention about the soldier surviving, you know, when he was getting out of the cockpit, he was like, "Yeah, we wouldn't call them soldiers. You would have
Yes.
any other different type of name, but yeah, not a soldier. You wouldn't refer to them as that."
Is Ace Combat set in a fictional world that just mirrors ours in terms of technology? Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
in Ace Combat 4, the world that essentially gets created is known as the Strange Real World. That I don't believe that was actually their original intended name for it. It was a world, however, that is meant to look and function an awful lot like ours, including technology. But obviously, the nations are all fictional. The geography is all fictional, but there's a lot of similarities and links to our own world. And so the community noted that it was basically a world that was strange, but yet realistic as far as like how it depicts itself in ways that we can kind of defer our own nations and timelines and things that have happened in our history kind of reflected in their world. So it was both strange as far as just we have super crazy like Death Star trench run kind of like super weapons and like massive flying arsenals and stuff like that. But it's still real at the same time. So the community name became Strange Real, and then eventually I think the Aces team just like took the ball and ran with it. Like, yeah, you know what? We're just going to call this world Strange Real. So that basically got its official kickoff in Ace Combat 4. However, Ace Combat 3 is part of that world, and it's in fact like the last part of the timeline for the Strange Real timeline. And even though Ace Combat 2, the original one was very, very vague, Ace Combat 2 Assault Horizon on the 3DS essentially got written into that Strange Real
Assault Horizon
world.
Legacy is its name.
Yes, that's it. Assault Horizon Legacy. Yes. Nothing to do with Assault Horizon, by the way. That game has been expunged.
We don't talk about Assault Horizon.
We don't talk about that.
We can talk about Assault Horizon Legacy.
Yeah. So yeah, that has been expunged from the.
But actually, Strange Real was not fully formed until like Ace Combat 5 when it decided.
Yeah, it has its.
Continent.
Yeah, it had its start with 4, but it got a lot more fleshed out with 5, and only has continued to do so, at least for the main titles. I don't think the Game Boy version of Ace Combat has any ties to the Strange Real universe.
Actually, I think it's supposed to be tied to Ace Combat 3, but
oh really?
We don't talk about Ace Combat Advance either. It's garbage.
Yeah. The one Ace Combat game I own is Assault Horizon. Oh no. Oh no. It would have been
For the record, by the way, Ace Combat 3. Okay, so Ace Combat 3 is my favorite one story-wise, but in terms of the world, okay, so it does take place in Lucia, and it has been retconned into being like the chronologically the latest in the Strange Real universe. But when Ace Combat 3 was made, the assumption was made that it took place in the real world in some nondescript European continent or island place. But that's been retconned.
Okay. See, back to here. So this carrier we're seeing here, this is a an SX class carrier.
Yes.
And the fun fact about this carrier is that I actually paused at the right time. So this carrier,
they're partying on the carrier.
Party on the carrier.
We got burgers.
We got burgers. Gotta love burgers. So this carrier is actually based off of the USS Hornet we have as a museum ship stationed in Alameda, California. During one of the tours, it was mentioned that the Aces team, the team behind Ace Combat, just so happened to have a tour sometime within the past year. They didn't really specify what it was for. However, we now know that they have clearly scanned the ship of the Hornet and are now including it as the clearly the ship that you are being based on in Ace Combat 8. So basically a very old, outdated SX class carrier, but one you're stuck working with, in this conflict. So it's a very festive outfit.
A couple hours ago, before we decided to start the stream, I was actually flipping through Twitter, and apparently I learned that Bandai filed a patent for a system where planes where objects, mostly fighter planes, can break and fall in different forms and cause collateral damage, or explosions on impact of ordnance on impact. And they had some diagrams with using S16s as a placeholder, but that may be a gameplay element we will see in Ace Combat 8.
Yeah, we'll have to see if
Yes.
that's the case. But yeah,
because Bandai is Project Aces.
yeah. But yeah, it's really cool to see that they are including the Hornet carrier, a carrier that I've been meaning to go and visit, a carrier that actually has a anime convention every year called CarrierCon in March, which I had tickets to go to last year. I had the tour. They even have, as you can see here on the deck, they have a concert. I don't know how often aircraft carrier crewmen have concerts for themselves out in the ocean, but they do for like VTubers and stuff during CarrierCon. And I had tickets to go see that as well. I'm so hyped, and then I got sick that week, and I was like, I can't go. But I'm looking forward to going to it next year. So, yeah, the carrier everywhere in this carrier very much a scan of the USS Hornet, and I don't know if this is a little reference to their I don't know if this is a reference to the festivities they have on the USS Hornet during CarrierCon, but that'd be cool if it is a nice reference.
Ship.
Don't worry at all. The man in front is
Also,
Jack.
hey,
Everybody's already
What?
going crazy
You're
for
riding
the
shotgun with
blonde
the
and pink-haired lady.
legendary Ace.
I've already been seeing artwork of her pop up. I heard a comment of somebody being like, "Oh yeah, now we back into Battlefield 3 with the Wizzo, with the Wizzo perspective and doing that game." I'm just like, "Oh no, don't mention the Wizzo sequence for Battlefield 3. I know normies really like it because it looks cool and stuff, but I just look at it and I just want to cringe the whole time. Like, this is not how any of this works, guys. This isn't how it works. You have fun, but
I never saw that. I never
it
watched
looks
that.
it's very, very pretty. But yeah, everything they did in that whole sequence is super wrong. That's not how any of this works.
Well, I can imagine, but I never actually saw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
What
reminds
week
me,
it's
I need
it's
to
I think
train
it's the
you
first week
to be
of March. I have to double check what week it is, but I think it's the first week of March.
a.
Yeah, I saw the Redeemed Soviet. I will take care of that after we finish reviewing the video here.
Legendary Ace of Aces.
It also reminds me
He's
that
our
I need to
last
train up to be a
fabricated
whistle
by the
for the
rumor mill of social media.
F-14, so we can do co-op with the F-14 one day.
Yeah. So it looks like besides,
It looks
whatever
kind
the
of
main story
like
is happening for this game, it looks like they are taking some inspiration from the
oh yeah, I brought up the patents, and you can see there's a piece of thing coming off of. It's probably gonna hit if it hits that. I think that is the idea. Was that will
right.
actually cause damage to the thing as a new gameplay element.
Yeah. We'll see how that gets implemented because I mean,
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'm sure there've been other games that have some sort of debris that can affect your flying.
Yeah, and Ace
And
Combat
hopefully
5.
it's super unique and
Yeah,
it's not something like Nintendo is constantly doing, trying to steal everyone's
I hope
ball
so.
and go home with it, But yeah,
I
hopefully
remember
it's
in Ace
a
Combat
completely
5,
unique
like
mechanic.
when you had to shoot down the Solg, like pieces of it came off. Do you remember that? What
For which one?
You beat Ace Combat 5, right?
Which one?
You beat Ace Combat 5.
Is that the
Actually, wait.
is that the satellite mission? Is that the one you're talking about? Which one are you talking about?
Ace Combat 5, the final mission of Ace Combat 5, you had to shoot down the Solg before it hit or the capital city of Osea.
That sounds familiar. I don't remember that being the final mission, but that sounds familiar.
Yeah, that was the very final mission.
Like you had to destroy enough of it before it
as you shot
re-entered
it apart,
or something.
No, it already re-entered the atmosphere, and you had to shoot it. You had to destroy it before it could hit the city.
Yeah.
And as you're shooting at weak points, parts of it start breaking off, and those large pieces of debris can actually kill you.
Mm.
And it got me a couple of times.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I had to learn to be very careful.
Yeah, so this part right here is also pretty interesting. This little
It's a
quote here.
Super Hornet.
Mass delusion fabricated.
Oh, let me go a little further back.
Riding shotgun with a legendary ace of aces.
He's a mass delusion fabricated by the rumor mill of social media.
Radar contact.
So yeah, this very much sounds like they're taking some inspiration from the hype that was generated over the Ghost of Kiev, right? A lone fighter, right, defending the homeland, you know, defending Ukraine from an invasion, and he's got all these kills and stuff like that. And you find out, okay, well, there was a little bit of truth to that, but a lot of it was kind of like
It was
either overhyped
yeah,
or
a lot of it's
propaganda from
unverified.
social media. It sounds like they're kind of taking
And-
that approach for this story here, as we are not the Ghost of Kiev, but we are the Wings of Thieves, right? Sounds very familiar.
It rhymes.
And it's
it rhymes.
there is another quote a little later on in this video where a guy says, "I can make your kill count anything I want it to be." So it seems like, you know, a lot of what we're doing is at least starting out to be more of like a PR kind of war, right? To kind of keep the keep morale up from the home front, because we may be dealing with something that may seem completely out of like unable for our forces to handle, right? We don't know yet entirely, but it seems like a lot of it is kind of a lot of it is kind of the guy who was originally they're gassing up. He dies right in that sequence, and then we take on the mantle, so to speak. We're essentially the Dread Pirate Roberts, and so now we're having to pass on, you know, basically acting like the former ace to try and keep morale up. And I wonder if this game, like narrative-wise, if it's going to become like if this game's going to become like oh, what's that term? Oh gosh, I can't remember the term. I can't remember the term now.
Well, I don't know how to answer answer any of this, but they have been taking notes from certain that's a certain real world war, and they've been noticing that social media is playing a massive part of it.
Yeah, so I'm sure they'll kind of lean into the effects of that with this conflict and our characters here, and how that's going to shape up. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether or not, because they kind of did this a little bit too in Ace Combat 5, but the difference is that the whole thing with the ghosts of Rosgrease and the demons of Rosgrease and the heroes of Rosgrease, that was all real. It just became like mythologized in a way, but all that stuff was happening. Whereas this stuff seems like it's mostly purely made up, and we're just kind of playing the part. And I wonder if eventually we become that story, right? But yeah,
Either
time
become
will
or
tell.
we make our own.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we start off by being an imposter, and then eventually we break out
Yeah,
and
well,
become our own thing.
yeah. I wonder if part of this story will be essentially be imposter syndrome, the game, you know, of kind of being gassed up as this
Well,
super amazing
yeah, that's,
ace that we really aren't, or at least starting out.
And in Arc Course 6, we were also kind of an imposter too.
Yeah.
We took a certain a certain mercenary's name, and then we just ran with it, and then that same mercenary came to try to kill us.
Yep.
Must fly on.
I can make up your.
Yeah, we got our wingman here, which is
We got the
awesome.
the old face masks that
Wings of Thieves
I
must
remember
stay
they
on
used
the
extensively in the 90s, but
Yep.
I thought they phased those out by now.
Well, they did. The thing is,
Yeah.
you got to remember, we're on an Essex class carrier, which is super old. And we are not fighting with the latest tech, right? Like you said, we're roughly just a little over 10 years away from the kind of crazy tech we see in Ace Combat 3, the game we're going to play here in a little bit. But
Yeah,
these
but
guys are still
I don't-
fighting
I-
with older technology, even older than what we have right now. So they're very much just dealing with what they got. So yeah, you are correct that a lot of the stuff that you're seeing here should have already been phased out, but they still use it because it seems like that's all they got right now.
I mean, to be fair, the SX that they're stationed on is a literal museum piece.
Quite literally, yeah.
To
It's
my
actually,
knowledge,
I wonder if
to
this,
my knowledge, it was like a World War II era aircraft carrier that's just been refitted.
Yeah.
For
exactly. So yeah, you brought up the museum piece. Yeah, the Essex, the USS Hornet is in fact a museum. I wonder if this is kind of going to be that same thing where this is actually a museum. Like how, okay, maybe this will be like the story for Battlestar Galactica, right? Where we clearly have like
Battlestar Galactica
civilians.
was a museum
We clearly have civilians that are on this ship, and you know, have to take part in helping defend their homeland. Also kind of like what is that, Robotech or Macross, right? The SDF-1.
or actually like the first half of Mobile Suit Gundam, actually.
That too,
The
yeah.
White Base actually was like staffed by civilians, and their goal was to get to Jaburo with
Yep.
the Gundam intact while fending off Zeon. And
Yep.
they didn't have professional soldiers staffing the base. It was just a bunch of kids and some civilians who volunteered to help out.
Yeah. And of course, as the MC, we have the only one who has our shades darkened. Someone's got a dark visor.
Must fly on.
Everybody else, oh, man, why did so who we got here is wingman. I'm assuming these are going to be wingman. We have the professor with the glasses. Which is
Yeah, I remember reading that glass, like some parts during the Gulf War war glasses, but
yeah, I don't know what the I don't know what
Pretty much,
the
yeah.
I don't know what the current rules are as far as like eyesight regulations
you
as
need
far as what you
20/20
need to see.
I think you need
I'm pretty sure
20/20 vision.
I'm pretty sure you still need 20/20 vision. But
But I remember reading
It's-
stories that some pilots actually wore glasses. Like they
now I
didn't
can understand if
have,
they're like sunglasses, but if they're like
regular glasses.
yeah, if they're like regular glasses, I'm curious to see when that was. So 20/20 ripped me. Yeah, I hear you, dude. It's been a while since I've had 20/20 vision. So yeah, we got the professor here. We got Tasha here, who is
physical
the
requirements for becoming a pilot is strict.
yeah, we got Tasha here, who I believe
Yeah,
is
I also like that they have
blonde and pink-haired girl that everybody on the internet's like going nuts over right now.
I like that they have their own custom helmets, by the way.
Yeah, and then we got Noise, who I wonder if he's gonna jibber jabber like is he supposed to be like
If he's-
this game's version of Hangman, right?
If he's
Is he
if
is he our
he's
version of
Chopper-
Hangman,
if he's the
basically?
comic relief, then he's gonna be the first to die.
No, they can't do that again. Not with Chopper. They can't do that again.
Comic relief is all like they always did that. Like Chopper was the comic relief, and then they killed him.
Yeah, that's what you do, right?
He was like,
Ever since Goose,
Yeah,
right? You make
to show-
the silly, likable guy. You make him the one to go, and it breaks the team. It's like, oh man. But yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I'm really hyped to see if they bring back the squadron command system like they did in 5. It was so cool, man. I miss that. It's been so long since I've had
I
that.
hope so.
I really hope they have that. That would make sense with these
Didn't
characters.
have that.
Yeah. Yeah, virtually just about all the games were just a single pilot and a wingman. Like it was always an element. It was always a two-plane element. Ace Combat
That was
5
fine,
was
however.
Ace Combat 5 was really the
Yeah.
only one of the only ones that actually had, two separate elements rolling together,
Yeah.
So you had 4
But,
aircraft like a
the
Star
thing
Fox
about,
team.
thing about that is that the wingman controls were not that sophisticated in 5.
They weren't, but they were a lot
so
better
that's
than
why,
all the
like,
other ones. All the other ones were just like cover me and attack my target. That was it. Whereas,
Yeah,
Ace Combat 5
but,
was
like-
cover me, attack my target, disperse, and employ special weapons.
Yeah, but you could not like you can't control you can't control the two separate elements and direct the other element to do something else while you do another thing.
Yeah.
Like you could like you can in like an actual like realistic flight sim.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
it's not significantly different when like you play Ace Combat Zero and Pixie's your wingman. The only difference is Pixie is more competent than
Yeah.
the War Dog Squadron, because they need to even it out, because you have three in Ace Combat 5, you have three wingmen, and then you only have one in Zero.
Yeah.
Your kill count to be whatever. Right.
Bless you.
From now on, you'll be the greatest ace pilot this war will ever know.
Gosh, this game looks so good. Yeah, I'm
It
I'm
does.
excited. I can't wait. And it's coming out next year. Oh man, so good.
Yep.
Gosh, next year is gonna be stacked with incredible games.